All right, what is going on, everyone? I know there's a few people in the chat here. We'll give a minute or two just to see if there's anyone else who wants to filter in. But wow, there's some crazy stuff going on in the world. I did an experiment where I did a premiere on my last YouTube video, and it was very interesting because I'm able to engage and communicate with you guys while the video's premiering, and a lot of people wanted to know my opinion on the pandemic and everything. And I've had my reservations discussing this just because I'm just a human being, guys. I'm just documenting my life. I'm not a healthcare professional. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a scientist, although I tend to heavily dive into research. And I believe a lot of you guys are upon my journey, or you've stayed upon my journey because I do interesting experiments which can benefit you in your life. And then along with that too, because you understand that all I can do is be as open and honest as possible. So that's what I'm going to be here. I'm just going to continue to be as open and honest as possible. And right now, I'm concerned. And I honestly believe other people should be as well too. There's not enough concern for the current state of affairs and the state of the world right now. Now, I'm not trying to fearmonger. I'm not trying to do scare tactics. Over the last few days, I've been looking at a lot of alternative media. If you guys are interested, I want to feature it, but I'm also concerned that a lot of these alternative media stuff is getting shut down. Some of it might be conspiracy, but a lot of these guys I feel are on the same path as me, where they're trying to be as open and honest and truthful as possible. So if you guys are interested, some of these guys I'm going to reference, it's Press for Truth. He's a guy out in Vancouver, British Columbia. And then we have another guy called Jason Burmass. And I'd go check out their YouTube channels, guys. Again, depending on where your opinion and perspective is on with all these things, it can seem very conspiracy theory. But, and again, my goal is only to be open and honest here. And this might seem egotistical for me to say, but with almost everything I've done and documented here on my YouTube channel, all these crazy experiments I've done, intermittent fasting, stomach vacuums, oil pulling, neurohacking, the mushrooms and stuff. Of course, the mushrooms, not so much, but I find that I discover these things and I start experimenting with them when they're still very controversial in the world and there's not a lot of evidence out there. And that's why I'm experimenting with it, because I want to know for myself, how is this affecting me? Because I don't see enough information out there and I want to know truly for myself. And right now I'm seeing a lot of concerning things happening in the world, and it's happening very, very slowly, but freedoms are being taken away and heavy restrictions are happening. There's a lot of self-policing. So in this video, I want to discuss, because people have asked, discuss my perspective on the whole pandemic, on this whole coronavirus, everything like that. And again, I'm not trying to fearmonger, but I believe right now, and as the video is titled, it's preparing for the worst. I've talked and and I'm connecting with a lot of what I believe are strong men here in the world. If you guys don't know, there's this quote and even a book written by a guy that I know called Hard Times Make Strong Men. Strong men make good times. Good times make weak men. Weak men make hard times. And it's a big cycle. And I'm trying to connect with as many strong men here in my city. I know there's a lot of strong men here in the chat right now watching this, because you guys are just doing self-improvement. You're trying to get better. And when I'm connecting with these guys, most, if not all, as well as just watching everyone out there, think that this is just going to blow over. And I hope it does. I truly hope that this is just a virus and everything is going to pass by. But there's a lot of alarming concerns for myself. Right now, they're mobilizing the Canadian military. They have 24,000 troops ready to deploy. And when I start seeing stuff like that and I see the heavy restrictions going on, they're fining people for being in parks by themselves, but it's okay to line up with hundreds of people at grocery stores. It's just making me question a lot of things. And again, this whole video is going to be about preparing for the worst. So what is the worst case scenario that I feel a lot of people aren't preparing for, that aren't thinking about and analyzing? And again, I believe for myself, like I tend to get upon these things before most of the masses do. Before most people, before there was a lot of information about intermittent fasting, I was looking through books and finding very, very mild things about it. And then I started experimenting with it for myself and documenting it on my YouTube channel. And at that time, there was like the Hodge twins and like one or two other channels experimenting and showing the effects that are happening to themselves with intermittent fasting. And same thing with stomach vacuums. I saw that Arnold Schwarzenegger, not that Arnold Schwarzenegger was going to do this, but I saw that like there was a movement in bodybuilding and there was going to be a change occurring soon. And I was like, okay, if I want to truly see what's going to happen with this and not listen to other people, then I have to do this for myself. And that's where I feel right now, where I'm in this weird state where it's like, I think some people think I'm crazy just because I'm analyzing things and questioning things like I've always done along my journey. And I know people have always thought I was crazy and out there. But now people do intermittent fasting in their life, whether from my channel or from other resources. There's many great benefits from it. Same with stomach vacuums, oil pulling, neurohacking, all these things. Now, I'm not saying I know everything, but I tend to discover these things and try to find it for myself first. And I heavily dive into as much research and analysis as I can find. So again, there's a few channels out there that if you guys are truly interested in this, I suggest going to check out. Jason Bermas, Bermas, as well as Press for Truth. But if things get bad, what is the absolute worst case scenario? I believe the absolute worst case scenario is that we could be under martial law. We could be under complete lockdown. And what happens if there's troops patrolling the streets and you can't leave your house, or you'll get fined, or worse, shot, or something like that? If things get to that kind of a state, again, worst case scenario, are you prepared? Am I prepared? I've been questioning this a lot over the last few days, and I feel I've been taking the measures to get prepared, but I don't think there's anywhere to prepare for what might come, especially what might come in the worst case scenario. Again, I'm very hopeful that things will be great and this will just pass over, and hopefully, only a very, very small amount of people die or get hurt or anything like that. I don't want anyone to die or get hurt because of this, but I feel that there are bigger things in play. There's bigger stuff going on behind the scenes, and I'm not going to dive into all that, but what is the worst case scenario? Some people are asking if I'm on shrooms. No, I'm not. I went for a nice walk, was on the phone with my sister, just making she was prepared and safe, connecting with people here in the city, went for a little jog after, then I came home and I did a bit of a workout, and I got halfway through my workout and I was like, I feel like I got to talk about this. So, because some of you guys were asking. So, again, what is the worst case scenario? We're all under martial law. We're all under lockdown. You can't leave your house without like a permit, without an ID badge saying you've gotten a vaccination. You can't go to the grocery store. You can't leave your neighborhood or the city limits or certain intersections without being able to prove and justify that you have gotten vaccinated or that you oblige with the current ruling that's going on. Now, if it gets even worse than that, where it's not just we're under lockdown, but let's say it can happen like that, where within 24 hours, we're in some Hunger Games type shit. And for me, not enough people are concerned or are thinking of the worst case scenario. They're just all like, oh, this is going to be fine. I have enough food for 2 weeks. I'm going to be great. If I need, I'll go out and get some more and I'll just be safe and wear a mask. And it's like, yeah, that's the way I was thinking for a while too. But again, I started looking at these alternative media sources, and again, I could be fear mongering myself, and I'm not trying to fear monger and scare tactics you guys, but I think right now it's very important to plan and be aware of the worst case scenario. And that's where my head's at right now. Because now imagine we're under complete lockdown, and then they stop communication. What if you no longer have access to Facebook and you can't talk with the people in your city and in your neighborhoods because you can't leave your house because they're patrolling the streets? Or now, and it's already starting, people are self-policing each other. What's already happening in places like Vancouver, in Toronto, and you can go check on Press for Truth, and it's happening here in my city of London, Ontario. Already, it's not even like in a scary state right now, but places are getting looted. there's break and enters happening. I'm connected with my buddy. Shout out to Casey if you're watching this at one point. Casey in Vegas. He's saying that it's like getting scary down there. And it's not because of the virus, it's because of other people. And I think that's the main concern. Because once people find out that it takes 3 hours, 4 hours, 24 hours, 48 hours for the cops to come to your house, that's when everything is going to start getting scary quick. And if you have to leave your house to go get groceries because you're not prepared, you're taking a risk to yourself. So, again, what I also think is that if we are all under lockdown and they restrict things like Facebook or certain platforms to communicate on, how are you going to talk to your loved ones? How are you going to plan to gather with each other? Again, I'm talking to all the strong men here in my city, and I'm just taking it day by day right now. But I'm at the point right now where I'm like, man, we need a contingency plan. If we need to rally all the strong men here in our city, do we have a plan? No one does. So it's just concerning because the second we're all stuck in our homes, and then the next week they limit certain platforms of communication, and then a week later the power goes out or something crazy like that, then it's full on survival mode. Do you have enough food to last? Do you a couple months under lockdown? That's where I think is we're getting to the worst case kind of scenario. Now, I don't want to fearmonger anymore. There's a lot of deeper theories with like Bill Gates and 5G and all that kind of stuff. I'm just watching it. I'm analyzing it. I don't know what to think. There's many opinions. There's many perspectives. There's many views on it. So I'm not going to dive into any of that kind of stuff, but because that could be the worst of the worst of the worst case scenario. If there is like some, ulterior motive to limit the population. Now, again, that's super scary shit that I don't even want to think about or look at. Like, I'm watching it. But right now, if I see no matter what, whether this is the lightest side of things, like this is only a virus and everything's going to pass in 2 to 3 months or 6 months or something, great. But we're going to be in a different world, whether it is that lighter side or the worst case scenario that I'm talking about with full-on martial law. Laws are changing, policies are changing, the way humans interact with each other are changing, the way humans spend money and consume are changing, and it's going to be a different world. So, again, I don't want to scare tactics, I don't want to fearmonger, but I want to leave you guys with some actionable steps at least. What I personally believe is you need to stock up. You need to have enough supplies to survive you for a couple months under complete lockdown with the potential of having no power. Do you have somewhere you can cook on something? Right now, I don't, but I'm doing all the other steps. I also think too, is that, and I've gotten this from my mentors, is you need to start pulling your cash out. Not all your money, but you need like some cash on you. It's if we lose communications, we don't have access to our banks anymore, it's just numbers in your account. It doesn't matter. So I've pulled out a significant, decent amount of money in the worst case scenario. Now, if everything's go back to normal, I just put that money back in the bank. No problem. Along with that, and I think some stuff that people aren't considering is like, because they think this is just a virus and this is just going to pass, they're getting things like Halls and stuff to treat like strep throat and stuff, is you guys need first aid, proper stuff. Again, I was just talking about my sister. I wasn't thinking about this stuff, but alcohol, like rubbing alcohol, a sewing kit in case like you minorly cut yourself and it's more than what a bandage could do. So if you actually need to stitch yourself, I don't think you want to be going to a hospital right now or even in the coming months. I think if there are going to be blockades and barriers at neighborhoods and at city limits and at major intersections, that you don't want to be going through them as much. You want to be limiting your access and travel through it. I'm already seeing places like in New York where, there's still a lot of people outside, and it's getting crazy where it's like, look, there's telling you to social distance by 2 meters apart and everyone can cram into grocery stores and stuff and stand in lines at grocery stores. But they have drones in New York that are flying around the park saying, everyone stay 2 meters apart from each other and remain a safe distance. Like, that is like totalitarian, futuristic George Orwell kind of shit, man. And it's just concerning. And again, I'm not trying to fearmonger, I'm not trying to do scare tactics, but I feel a lot of people aren't considering the worst case scenario. What is the worst possible situation if things like, and things are moving slowly, but each day it's like limiting our freedom, it's limiting our restriction, like it's restricting us as humans, as individuals. And I don't want to be that person who, when everyone's freaking out and there are barriers and guards up and stuff, that everyone's running to the grocery stores. And at that point, it's already like there's only 2 cans per person or 1 case of water per person or per family and things like that. So I'm not saying go panic buy, but make sure that you are safe. Have first aid, have enough food, have some way you can cook that food without power. And then along with that, the only other thing I can say is stay optimized and healthy as possible. It's hard to do this stuff, to want to work out and want to even create videos and content. Like I have a bunch of ideas that I want to create right now. Hacking your hormones. I want to come out with a series called Hacking Your Hormones for Fat Loss, Hacking Your Hormones for Muscle Growth, Hacking Your Hormones for Cognitive Function. And I'm like, I've scripted one up, but there's times where I'm like, man, I feel like I can't focus on this stuff because there's just so much going on. And it's concerning. But at the same time, too, we got to force ourselves to stay physically active. Because if in the coming months, we do need to be at the top of our physical and mental games, you don't want to be sitting there just flipping through the channels or, just only digesting content for the last few months. So something I've always regularly said here on my YouTube channel is we got to be optimized. So stay optimized. Stay as safe as you guys can. But thank you guys so much. I really appreciate having you guys on my journey. Again, all I can do is be as open and honest as possible. I'm not trying to fearmonger. I'm not trying to scare tactics. But again, I've done a bunch of research over the last couple days watching these alternative media sources. Go check them out for yourselves. I don't even want to link them because I don't want to restrict my channel, because I'm seeing a lot of people who are even mentioning things. Their channels are getting demonetized. Their stuff's getting pulled down. And that's concerning as well, too. So, guys, stay safe. Stay optimized, be prepared, still continue to do what you want for yourself. Like, I'm still trying to create content for myself. I'm still like, our company here working for Matt, we've had to slow things down a bit. We did have to lay off a couple people, but we're trying to help them as much as we can. We're keeping them on as contractors if we can. We're just going with the flow of things, but like, I'm still working technically. We're still uploading content to Matt's YouTube channel, and we're still doing these things. And I think you need to keep motivated, keep moving, keep healthy, keep your brain stimulated, because there's so much information coming in. There's so much fear mongering from the media and possibly lies coming in from them that we just don't know who we can trust right now. You guys got to stay healthy for yourselves, stay optimized. So really appreciate everyone here in the chat right now. I'll check a couple comments real quick, but I wasn't here to again, really engage too much to do scare tactics and stuff. So I'll just pull the laptop over here. Big shout out to everyone who's part of this video right now. You guys are amazing. If you are in any cities in North America or anywhere in the world and you're seeing things that are questionable, I'd love for you to comment below, because I'm trying to inform myself as much as I can right now. And again, a lot of these alternative media sources are getting limited. I'm hearing in the UK, they're burning and pulling down these 5G towers. And I don't know if these 5G towers are bad for us or they're not bad for us or what, but that stuff's concerning. Is that happening where you guys are at? What do you guys know? What's happening in your cities? Are they closing things down? Is there military on the streets? I know they're mobilizing stuff. I heard in Kentucky right now, and I don't know if I agree with this or I don't agree with this, but they're putting GPS trackers on people with coronavirus. And I just don't know what to think about that. Like, that's like, if so many people are getting infected with this stuff, what, are they going to put trackers on everyone now? It just seems like another reason to move policies in a way that benefits other people. So thank you guys so much for being here in the chat. We have Faith Garden says hi. We have The Full Shelf says, what's up, dude? Larison Bartholomew says hi, Hungarian Experiment. Nathan B says it's all a big show. Nathan B says the slave population is going to have to rebel against the masters. And I'm not saying I 100% agree, but I don't disagree. And this is why we're going to need strong men, strong women, strong people to lead the potential, whatever it might be. Because the weak men of the world that created these hard times, they're going to sit by. They're not going to do anything. They're going to be the ones self-policing and saying, look at that guy over there. Look what he's doing. Look what he's saying. Reporting people's videos and stuff. I think the more information we can get, the better. We shouldn't be restricting things. We'll skip down to the bottom here. Ryan Murray says, look up the QAnon conspiracy is wild. I've seen a lot about the QAnon stuff. I don't even know what to think about it because I've seen so many different things about it. We have Damo Bass says, stay safe from UK. Don't take the vaccine. I'm not getting vaccinated. And that's the thing. If it goes into martial law and they're coming to people's houses demanding that people get vaccinated or else, are you prepared to either defend yourself or leave? Because I don't know. My mom, like I talked with my mom yesterday and like she's like in more downtown of London. Here we're kind of like on the outskirts. So worst possible case scenario, we could book it into the forest and in the woods. But I told her like, worst case scenario, you got to get here. So that way we can at least be safe together. And I don't think a lot of people are planning this with their own families. And I think a lot of people who are trying to plan for the worst case scenario are getting looked at as crazy because those people are watching the mainstream media and are getting fed possible misinformation, even though it is from the mainstream media. It's just very concerning. We got Harks Creative. What's up, Kyle, in the chat? He says, glad you guys are staying safe. We're doing our best, man. I hope you are too. It's all we can do. Stay optimized, stay healthy. Authenticity Seeker says, hashtag disobey. That's what I think it might come to. Again, we might be coming into some Hunger Games shit here. And I don't know if you guys watched that movie. I started watching it recently again just because a couple of guys here in the house watched it. It's like, oh, damn, that's like the world state we're in right now. Might as well just kind of watch it. And if you see that, everyone's complacent. And it's because there's no way to fight back against things once the structure is in place. But we have the ability right now to at least build contingency plans with our family, with our friends, connect with people who have guns, connect with people who have weapons. Make sure that, if you guys lose communication with each other, that you guys know where you can rally and meet in not a public place, Because who knows what's going to happen. So Ryan Murray says they're cleaning up to pedos WWG1 WGA. I'm not sure 100%, but I've heard some stuff about like the pedophilia island and all that kind of stuff and how there's potentially, and again, this might all be conspiracy theory or not, but there's a lot of human beings that are being bred and raised for sex trafficking that are connected to these very, very powerful people. And these very, very powerful people behind the scenes are using celebrities and actors to engage in these horrible acts with these possible children, these pedophiles, like make them into pedophiles and document it so that way they can never speak the truth. Because if they do, they'll just get revealed as horrible people. And I don't know if they started out as bad people and just kind of got upon that journey when they wanted to get famous and do all that stuff and lost their morals along the way. But if that is all true, like, damn, like potentially Tom Hanks and Ellen DeGeneres. And, I've seen pictures of like Bill Gates standing next to Jeffrey Epstein. And then again, who knows? Maybe that was just a picture and they were just meeting at a place and they met hundreds of people that day. I'm not trying to fearmonger, not trying to scare tactics, but this is stuff that I am seeing. And people are also seeing it here, like in the chat. So keep informing yourself, guys. We got Astrid Chaho says, thanks for the vid. Thanks for coming in here. I saw you followed me on Instagram the other day. How's it going? She also said, dude, same. I'm like, content? Oh, why? Yeah, exactly. Like, it's hard to be like, man, how to be motivational and inspiring. Like, guys, I recently just made a video how I stopped smoking weed. And now it's been about a week since I haven't had any edibles in my system. So it's been about 2.5 to 3 weeks that I've stopped smoking, no weed. And last night, holy shit, I had the three of the most vivid dreams ever. And I was like, you know what? Today I'm gonna make a vlog so I can talk about this subject. But like throughout my day, I'm like, how do I create a vlog right now? How do I, like I'm just here to document my life. I never try to put on a show or try to be more happy or, force positivity. I think that's gross. I think a lot of people do that. They fake themselves in front of the camera, but there's times where like if I'm not feeling it, I just can't record it unless I'm just sharing myself openly and honestly like right now. But guys, crazy vivid dreams. I'm going to try to make a video after, hopefully tomorrow, now that I've kind of stocked up and things a little better and my mentality is getting better and I've done a lot of research over the last couple of days. But holy crap, some crazy vivid dreams. I'm so excited to go to sleep tonight. Like I can't wait to see if I have some crazy dreams. And if this continues, I want to try some like lucid dream experiments. Will it matter if the world's gonna like end? I don't know. And that's the thing sometimes too, is like why am I even thinking that? But it's hard not to sometimes. So we got MMA guy says, did DMT about a month ago and it was a bad fucking trip. I still can't get over it. God damn, what happened, bro? That's crazy. Oh, another thing too, since we're on the kind of drug subject, a lot of you guys gave your feedback on my our magic mushrooms performance enhancing video about your own experiences about performance enhancement while under the influence of the substance. So if you guys didn't see that video and you guys have had performance enhancing effects from magic mushrooms, whether they're mental or physical or in any kind of way, I'd love for you guys to go leave a comment in the comment section of that video, of the performance enhancing magic mushrooms video, and I'm gonna make a video about all your guys' experiences. So please just be as open and honest about your experiences, and you might be featured in my YouTube channel here. And again, thank you to everyone who is sharing their experiences. I can't believe how many people have found performance enhancing effects. So if the world doesn't go to shit, like I would love to see if we can try to make that something. Like, man, we need to prove and justify and getting more scientific testing around not just it benefiting mental health, but like optimizing our performance enhancement. Like, holy shit. Astrid says, food and water is already limited where I'm at. Where are you at, Astrid? Where are you at in the world? Nathan B says, all virus pandemics are fake. Viruses are not transmittable or even alive at all. They are protein structures generated by your own cells. It's crazy, man. I don't know what to think. There's so much information coming in from different directions. Astrid says she's at Texas. Damn. And there's already limited food and water. Like, go out as much as you can, stay safe, but like slowly stock up. Kyle Hark says, I want to try microdosing. Might as well. Yeah, everyone's at home right now. Might as well experiment and explore. Mario says a virus can only hurt if your immune system is weak. Yeah, and that's like what I've heard and I'm questioning too, but it seems like young people are getting sick as well too, and it's getting more than what they were saying. Right now, guys, I'll show you my laptop because I seriously think you guys need to go check out this video. This is from an a New York City doctor. Go check out this video here. Again, I don't want to be sharing these links and stuff just in case they try to restrict things and I still want to have communication with you guys, but it's called From NYC ICU, Does COVID-19 Really Cause ARDS? And when I first got this video sent to me by one of my followers, by one of you guys, it was only at like 20, 30,000 views. Yesterday, I was showing it to some of the guys here in the house. It was at 270,000 views, like in the hospital that he's at. And again, I've looked into this legitimacy of this doctor, if he was a real doctor and all that stuff, or if he's just trying to get attention. And it seems very legit. But he's saying like, guys, this is not what we're being told it is. This is not what we're being told by our higher ups, what we need to be preparing for. Like, this is like some scary shit. Like, they told us to prepare for, and what normally happens with these viruses and these like COVID like flus, coronaviruses, is that like it's like a pneumonia type of effect. But this is like something they've never tried before. And this doctor actually believes that the ventilators that they're using on people are actually hurting them more. That once they put them on a ventilator, they have like a 70 to 80% chance of death. Like if they are sick and they put them on ventilator, like they're basically done. And it's like, what the fuck, man? Like this doctor here, like I'll show a quick clip, but guys, go check this out for yourself. So I just gotta turn up the sound here. It's showing my chat here. So
Cameron Kyle said, ER and critical care doctor from New York City. 9 days ago, I opened an intensive care unit to care for the sickest COVID positive patients in this city. In these 9 days, I have seen things I have never seen before. In treating these patients, I have witnessed medical phenomenon that just don't make sense in the context of treating a disease that is supposed to be a viral pneumonia. 9 days ago, I presumed I was opening an intensive care unit to treat patients with a virus causing a pneumonia that was ravaging lungs across the world, starting out as something mild, cough, a sore throat, and progressively increasing in severity until ultimately ending in something called acute respiratory distress syndrome, or ARDS. This is the paradigm that every hospital in the country is working under. This is the disease, ARDS, that every hospital is preparing to treat. And this is the disease, ARDS, for which in the next 2 to 6 weeks, 100,000 Americans might be put on a ventilator. And yet, everything I've seen in the last 9 days, all the things that just don't make sense, the patients I'm seeing in front of me, the lungs I'm trying to improve, have led me to believe that COVID-19 is not this disease, and that we are operating under a medical paradigm that is untrue. In short, I believe we are treating the wrong disease, and I fear that this misguided treatment will lead to a tremendous amount of harm to a great number of people in a very short time. As New York City appears to be about 10 days ahead of the country.
So guys, again, go check that out for yourself. There's the title of the video. But when I saw that, I was like, I need to do more research on this. And I started getting, on the YouTube wormhole and stuff, but I believe I came upon a couple legitimate people. I'll show those people here as well too. So this is the guy from BC I was discussing, Press for Truth. Go check him out. He's showing how in Vancouver right now, all the retail plazas, everything's getting boarded up. And then check out Jason Bermas, Bermas. But again, they're, I believe, speaking the truth and being as open and honest as possible. And the more I watch, the more I'm just trying to be, take a step back and trying to analyze this stuff. It's making me question that, like, are we prepared? Are we ready for this? Are you ready for this? I don't know. I'm concerned. But I really appreciate having you guys along my journey. This is going to be it for the video. Thank you guys so much for being on my path. I don't want to fearmonger. I don't want to scare tactics and stuff like that. But I felt like I needed to make this video because some people were asking me about it. And I've done a bunch of research over the last few days. I'm trying to inform the people that I know of and I care and I love here in my city and from, my family members and friends. And I really care about you guys. I care about my following. I care about the people who have been on my journey from the start, the new people that are joining. And yeah, question everything, guys. That's just what I'm trying to do right now. I'll try to keep you updated. But I don't want to talk about this stuff too much online because I don't want to get restricted and potentially lose the communication with you guys just because I'm asking questions. And yeah. Again, thank you guys so much. I really appreciate you guys. Stay healthy, stay safe, stay optimized, get prepared. I am the Hungarian experiment.